One of these two guitars costs 480 euros, the other about 4,800. Did you recognize which one is which? Modern Guitar School is online. I welcome you very warmly to the ultimate sound comparison between an entry-level model and a high-end luxury guitar. So, competing against each other are a very affordable Gem, the entry-level model, the very small model. The Gem is the signature model of Steve Vai. It's available in a quite expensive version and also as an entry-level model for beginners or intermediate players. And this is the Gem that I'm holding in my hand right now. And we're comparing it against the absolute high-end flagship from Music Man. That's the Majesty, the signature model of John Petrucci, guitarist for Dream Theater. Absolutely world famous, the man is a total monster and of course plays his signature. And everything there is, as I said, in the high-end range. We'll listen to both models with clean sound, rock sound, and metal sound. With exactly the same settings, the same riffs, or rather, chords and no EQ tricks. One-to-one, presented quite honestly, so that you can compare how big the difference is between both guitars, as far as the sound is concerned. So definitely stay tuned, it's going to be super exciting. Okay, let's start with the clean test. You won't see the guitar, but I'll switch back and forth between both models and play exactly the same thing through exactly the same amp setting. Take a listen. Let's reveal the results. I'll remove the bar and you can see which guitar was which. I'll also show you the interface of my Cubase program. Then you'll see exactly how I switched back and forth between the two tracks of the two guitars. It's best to put on good headphones when comparing so that you can hear the details well. Although I think that the clean comparison is probably also audible through a normal smartphone, because the differences were already quite clearly audible just now. Did you notice them? Did you guess the right guitar? Okay, now it's getting exciting. Now comes medium distortion, a rock riff, and let's hear if the difference still remains so audible there. So we'll start with the blind test again. Guitars are hidden at first, and I'll switch back and forth. I'll reveal which one plays first afterwards. Take a listen to this. So you notice the difference is getting smaller. Here is the reveal. Now it gets even more interesting. We're cranking up the gain, so more distortion. I've composed a little metal riff for you for this. We're doing the blind test again. We won't reveal which guitar starts until afterwards. Let's go. That was really harder now, wasn't it? Let's reveal the hidden metal riff, and I'll remove the black bar. So you notice quite clearly now, the more distortion comes into play, the smaller the differences between the guitars become. And you can't really hear a difference anymore, if we're honest, with the metal riff. I was pretty floored myself, I have to admit. I already knew about this physical phenomenon before the experiment, but that it's so extreme did surprise me a bit, because I listen in my studio through good, or actually very good studio monitors, where you hear every nuance. But when switching back and forth between the two guitars, I heard absolutely no difference anymore. Now that doesn't mean that expensive guitars are useless. It means that in the high gain range, other factors dominate. I'll explain that to you in more detail now. So why do a €480 guitar and a €4,800 guitar sound almost identical in a metal sound? The answer lies in the compression and in the harmonics. I'll show you a diagram here. Imagine the guitar signal like a wave. With an expensive guitar, the wave is very complex and detailed. But if we now turn up the gain control on the guitar, the following happens. We chase so much energy into the signal that it becomes heavily compressed. Compressed means the loud signals are condensed, become quieter, and the quiet signals become louder. So the signal is squeezed together. Through this hard clipping of the peaks, the dynamics and the fine characteristics of the wood and the instrument are almost completely lost. So the signal is compressed together, to put it simply. In addition, the distortion creates artificial overtones that are added. These new overtones are so loud and dominant that they completely mask the original differences of the clean sound, for example, in the distorted sound. So you no longer hear any characteristics of the wood, the pickups, or the actual instrument at all. So the result in the end, with a lot of gain, the instrument recedes into the background and the amplifier comes to the fore. I'll show you a breakdown here of how you can roughly weight it, at which sound the instrument still plays a role, and from which sound or distortion the amp actually comes to the fore. I don't want to destroy any illusions with this video, even if I probably am. Of course, there are also a whole range of justifications for spending a lot of money on a guitar. Let's start with the playing feel. The neck feels completely different. The frets are better leveled. They are stainless steel frets. The electronics, 20 decibel boost, piezo switching, the ergonomics of the guitar, the locking tuners. So if we start with that, there is of course a reason why this guitar costs more. But this is about the pure sound comparison. What comes out of the speaker? What arrives in the DAW when you record the guitar? And that's pure physics. The difference is actually as small as you heard it. So perhaps the crucial question is not what a guitar costs, but what you use it for. I've also put together a workshop pack for you for this workshop. You can download it below the video. There are all the Kemper sounds I played here, ultra clean rock sound and the metal sound. And of course all riffs and chord sequences in Guitar Pro in PDF with backing tracks, tracks fast and slow. You can work through everything again, have exactly the sounds, and can also learn the riffs. Download it, then you'll have the same sounds and riffs ready to go. Alright, my friends, I hope you've learned something. Maybe you've even saved €5,000 now through this workshop. As I said, I didn't want to shatter any illusions. Please stay friendly in the comments. It's physics, that's just how it is. You heard it yourself, I didn't fake or tweak anything. The difference gets smaller and smaller the more gain you have. If you enjoyed it, give me a like, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell. That would help my channel grow even more, and I'd be very grateful for that. Alright then, get out your cheapest guitar and compare it in a metal sound. You'll be amazed. I'm getting started on the next workshop. We'll see you next week, and I thank you very much for watching. Until then, take care, bye.